is a dietitian, you might ask? So a dietitian will analyze your diet and decide what you need to improve your health. So it's a great way to get unbiased, scientifically backed nutrition information. It can be very difficult to sort through what is fact and what is not when doing your own online research, and it may also be difficult to know what information will help you specifically. So everyone is different, and everyone has different nutrition goals and different health issues. So what works for one person may not work for you. So many times doctors will say, hey, you need to lose weight or you need to improve your diet. And you might come away from that thinking, okay, great, well, how? And a dietitian will help you with how. So what sorts of things do you look for on food labeling and ingredients to make healthy choices in the grocery aisle? So one very helpful tool is the 5 and 15% rule. So if you look at the percent daily value, which is these percents right here, so these are the percents of what you should have of that nutrient each day, according to Canada's recommendations. So 5% means this is a little bit of that nutrient, this is a low source of that nutrient, and 15% or more, that is a good source of that nutrient. So if you look here, milk, calcium is 30% of your daily value. So 1 cup of milk is 30% of your daily needs, which is a good source. And also 45% of your daily value for vitamin D. So this is a very good source of calcium and vitamin D. And it's skim milk, and so it's 4% of your daily value of fat. So this is a low source of fat. So you can use that rule when you're comparing products. So you want to look for products that are low in sugar, salt, fat, saturated fat, and higher in things like protein, fiber, and vitamins and minerals. Sometimes on the front of the label they'll have titles like healthy choice or smart food, and so those aren't regulated claims. So they can say that as a marketing ploy to try and get you to buy the product, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a smart choice or if it's a healthy choice. So always look to the nutrition facts here to know for sure. But there are some front of labels that you can trust. So if it says like low fat or a good source of or a great source of, these are regulated terms, so you can trust that. But also it's always good to check for yourself and look at the nutrition fact table. So what are processed foods and whole foods, and why are processed foods unhealthy? So processed foods are foods that have been altered from their original form in a major way, so much so that it has altered the nutritional content of the food. So for example, a potato would be unprocessed and a potato chip would be highly processed. So a potato chip has tons of salt, saturated fat, sugar sometimes, and has altered so much that you no longer get the nutritious benefits of that potato that it started from. So you don't get that fiber or the vitamins and minerals that a potato would have. So there's often many additives. It's often ready to eat, and it has lots of preservatives like sugar, salt, saturated fat, and trans fat. So examples of those are like breakfast cereals, donuts, cookies, chips, and luncheon meats. So one way to avoid processed food is by cooking more often, using fresh or frozen ingredients, and adding less salt and sugar and fat when we're cooking, and choosing whole grains or complex carbohydrates like whole grains over simple carbohydrates like white flours, white breads. And also making water our drink of choice as opposed to juice and pops and sodas. So I hope this video was informative and helpful, and you can use these tips in your everyday life to achieve a more nutritious and fulfilling diet. So thank you so much for having me, and have a great night.